Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining me. It has been a while since I have made a YouTube video, but I have finally reached a point in my experience where I feel more comfortable getting on and talking about what was going on and what I've been up to the last several months and how that applies to the others that are on this awakening and remembrance type of a journey. Before I get into any of that stuff, I want to let you know that my big end of summer sale is happening right now. If you're looking to get into session with me, I've been doing and trying a lot of new things, and I'm getting reactions and responses in sessions that I just was never ever getting before. So this would be a good time to get in now that I have kind of found a new signal and have created the foundation that we need to hold that. I also want to let you guys know that the cards, the deck is coming along better than expected, better than planned, and everything is right on schedule for that to be rolling out here in the next few weeks. I wanted to spend most of August doing the artwork, doing the writing, doing the, making sure that everything is coherently working together in a system. So that phase of it is done, and now we're moving into refining the process and bringing forward the best physical version of the deck. So that's where we are. With that being said, I am going to allow for only 15 more pre-orders. So once those 15 pre-orders are gone, we will be established until the first, the first batch of decks roll out. So I'm getting on video today because it is time to talk about these experiences that I've been having that, really started in April. And I talked a little bit about that, and you see some of that coming through in the articles that I've been producing. But basically, I went into the Akashic Records in April, and the Akashic Records acknowledged me differently. So I had reached some threshold in letting things go. I had reached some moment in time where I carried with me into the Akash a certain level of purity, and it saw the core. It did not see the character. It did not see the story and the narrative. It did not see, where am I coming from and where am I going? The Akash recognized itself in me and then basically zoomed out and showed me that the Akashic Records is only one of 12 aspects of creation. So what I've been working on is getting into those other aspects of creation, and that has resulted in, a codex manifested from start to finish without any level of illusion associated with it or attached to it. That has resulted in experiences that are not performative and are not meant to be a show for me, but are meant to actually be mechanical and operational and solidifying placement and command of reality. So I'm just going to speak as openly and as clearly as I feel that I should in this session. I'm not going to let anything, deter me from bringing it out. We opened the records in that manner in April, and then we went through May, June, July of basically going into the space. This is how you do it. This is how you move. This is how you act. This is how you motivate. This is how you activate. We go through May, June, July with the field around us being as quiet as it has ever been. So, that was a brutal period of time because we're having these inner experiences that are so loud and so prominent. And then we're moving into the external, and there's no acknowledgement, there's no recognition, there's no return for what we're sure is, meant to be working this way. All of that changed here in the month of August, and I've basically had some of my wildest spiritual fantasies and dreams fulfilled. I have had things fulfilled that I knew nothing about, but make total sense in the bigger picture and grander operation of things. So I went into the Akash in April, and I was given access not to ETs, not to archangels, not to masters, but I was given access to field intelligence. And I have been, since that moment in time, calibrating myself to, to gain coherence with the field intelligences, and for those field intelligences to recognize who's, in the form, who's in the body, and who is not in the body, and who has left the body. There's opportunities in the field now that came from specific processes that I went through that I'm going to be bringing to you today for you to implement. At the beginning of August, everything came to a head, and these intelligences started making themselves known. And I spent all night, every night, getting downloads, getting instructions, getting processes, and then going out into the field, literally into the fields around the house, and executing these procedures, implementing these protocols, and started getting responses in the form of orbs appearing and disappearing, in the form of entire fleets of craft illuminating, whipping through the sky, lighting up the clouds. And then we basically went to this experience where, not exaggerating, the neighbors all saw this, my wife saw this. We call forward the intelligences, and the intelligences fill the entire sky with activity, and they do so in a very cluttered manner. What I did in that moment in time is I took command of the intelligences. I gave the intelligences an instruction. They responded to that. They went into formation, and they performed a maneuver to confirm compliance, to confirm obedience. This is something that we're all capable of, and this is not just what I'm here doing. This is what the standard is. This is what expected. We will move into. We will gain access to the custodians, which are source technology and infrastructure from over 200,000 years ago. It's not a 12,000 year separation that we're trying to clear. So those of you who have been getting the sightings for a long time and even have felt like, I can call them forward when I want to, understand that there are procedures that they're going through that are not performative. When they do that motion in the sky, it is something operational that they're doing for a purpose. When they give you the signal, when they blink, when they do the things that break normal rules and laws of reality, it is always a means of calibrating the physical self and its perception so that we can move into complete alignment with all layers of the field, and that responsiveness that we have in the external is available within any immediate internal physical human level process. So some of you may understand my journey, my path, and my experience, and all of what I've just described to you will make total sense, and will be the next natural escalation in the experience for myself and for you. Some of you will not really put any weight into that, and that's fine. We're not here for performance. We're not here to make videos for the world to see and for the masses to come to for belief. We're here for reclaiming the operating system so that the illusionary one can fall away, and so that there's structure and stability in moving forward and maintaining that better state of being for ourselves and for humanity. So let's get into the operation, the procedures, how we went from point A to point B, and how we maintained our clarity and our sanity during that process, which would have been very easy to lose. So we started getting the instructions in April, and in May, we learned that it was our job to remove what are called false fields. So we have the legitimate field, and then we have false fields that are basically stealing the operation system or allowing for the operation system to have a certain level of separation and delusion. So first and foremost, the objective in May was to terminate false fields, and we did that through command in the body, called affirmation. Whatever you do, when you are broadcasting from your physical self, you're not looking for hierarchy and authority. You are looking for, I am the authority in the physical body, And my being here is the confirmation of that. And I am going to issue instructions into reality as if I am the maker of it. That is what it takes to move the system. The field has to recognize itself. The field cannot recognize the character that has been formulated in linearity and separation, and to see that as a viable option for what the structure of this place should look like. Go into your inner world, dear spirit, in this now moment. I remove all false fields that may be imitating origin blueprint. We then moved into June, and in June we started deleting delay permissions and collective field agreements. And we're moving these tools and resources and knowledge of system into the sessions so that we can clear some of those layers quickly instead of in years. So in June, we started to remove delay permissions, and that's one of the main things that is keeping humanity stuck in separation, delay permissions. When we are in the Edenic field, we do not allow for any level of delay, and that is a version of the field that never knew delay. When the Creator holds the intention to bring something into being, it happens in that now moment. Humanity was tricked into being tolerant of delay. And that is because delay permissions were implemented into the field and basically became a system of, you've got to go external to get permission to do that. You've got to understand that there needs to be processes unfolding and endurance over time to get where we want to be, and to have the field around you acknowledge that effort and that work. The Creator does not believe in that kinds of things. The Creator, in its natural state, observes spontaneous manifestation directly in the palm of the hand, immediately in the moment that it was broadcast. That is the standard. Any lesser of a standard will empower and maintain the illusion and the false fields. So in June, we were also working a lot on removing collective permissions. We all come into these bodies and we have a lot of collective agreements that are implemented unconsciously and automatically. And then there are those that we accept and, hold ourselves as we continue forward in the timeline. You're not here to be one of many. You are here to be one of one, and you are here to remember that you are sovereignty in form. You are not filling a role. You are not participating in a collective assignment. You are an individual taking diagnostics of reality and moving that reality into a state of completion and correction. Only embodiment can do that. You will look around this world and you will see a system designed specifically to repel and to prevent embodiment. This is an illusion, and mostly everything that we've been engaging in for all of this time is inverted from what appears to be on the surface. So we go through June, removing collective entanglement, declaring simulation and testing with collective experiences over, and broadcasting that in a manner that we expect the field to respond to and react to absolutely. And we move into July. July was all about removing concealment. July was all about, I have come into this place and I have accepted agreement that things will be slow, and that my perception will not be able to keep up and to catch up, and that there's meant to be a separation in the spectrum and the realm of perception that I have access to. So the next thing that you need to do after disengaging from collective agreements is you need to remove concealment agreements, which looks like this. Find your clarity in a now moment, go within yourself, find your broadcast system. Dear field, in this now moment, I remove all permission to conceal. I escalate now that which I am supposed to be aware of, that which I am meant to see, and that which is going to serve as a catalyst for remembrance. You can only remove the concealment by being conscious and awake enough to know what that is and to understand what's going to be seen when that concealment agreement is removed. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to call for the escalation of contact. You need to declare your readiness. You need to declare completion from simulation and broadcast into the field instruction and permission to escalate the next contact, event, process, procedure, whatever you want to call it. Understand that we're looking for momentum to occur. We're looking for every day confirmation takes place that is going to have no tolerance for any illusion to exist within it. So in July, we start removing concealment agreements and we start to call for the escalation of contact. And as soon as August came around, every day was an escalation from the day before. Every day was a new experience that we get maybe once every few years. And, you know, remember, oh, I remember this one time this magical thing happened. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. Every day has been having supernatural experience and then moving into the Akashic to understand what was the operational function for having that experience. And why was I in a position to do it, and what does that mean for the others that I can show and teach and move in the right direction to? We are awakening the intelligences and taking command of the intelligences and empowering those intelligences to revert the field to a version that never knew illusion and to sustain a construct that is unprecedented in creation and has more potential than the creator has ever manifested for itself in physical form. Alrighty, guys. I will see you soon. If you are looking to get into session with me so we can look under the hood and see what exactly specifically is needed and necessary for you, I would love to do that with you. If you're looking for pre-ordering the deck, there's limited amount available. But if you want to get in that first wave of shipping and with the cheaper price, now would be the time. See you soon.